Hi guys, and welcome back to the LADYLUX YouTube channel. So today I have got my client Lauren, who I am going to be refreshing up her blonde. So we had just been carrying out half head balayage, but this time we are going to freshen up all her underneath and all her blonde on the top as well, just because her underneath blonde was starting to get a little bit brassy, you know, with like tan and things. So we are going to be taking the bleach through the ends so that we can brighten and clean up some of the blondes. So I'm starting off by using 3% developer, which is 10 vol. I'm applying that directly onto the root area. We're not taking it through the ends. This is just on the dark root area so that we can freshen up her roots. I am doing a sort of medium size weave, as we do want to have a lot of coverage and we do want to brighten her up, so we do want to be lifting a lot of the hair so that I can create an overall brighter and lighter blonde. The foils that I'm using are my favourite Framar foils, which are so much wider than regular foils, and they're just amazing for being able to take larger sections and get through your client's hair much more efficiently, and yeah, they're really easy to work with. As I'm making my way up the hairline, I'm making my way up in a diagonal section so that I can keep the hairline detail as really sort of prominent and as light and as bright as possible, so that when she does lift up her hair and tie her hair back, she will have the lightness coming from directly underneath and directly up at the sides, so that it will appear much lighter and brighter. So now I am going to be moving on to the face framing section. This is where I'm going to be using a really fine, almost a baby light technique. We're going to be using really, really small sections, fine sections, so that we can get really, really precise and brightness around her hairline. I am using the Framar brush and a little foil just so that we can create this brightness and lightness. I always like to seal my foils completely just so that I can insulate them and keep the heat in as best as possible so that we can get a really nice, crisp, even lift. So again, I'm just moving on to my next baby light section, and I'm taking a medium size weave on the very, very small section. Again, weaving from the top row so that we can get a really, really close net highlight. And then I'm just applying the 10 vol to her hairline and her dark rooted area only. So now that I've completed the lower section of the face framing, I am going to be going up to the actual parting area for the face framing, and I am applying again the 3% developer and the 10 vol directly onto the dark hair and avoiding the pre-lightened hair already. Again, I'm continuing to take really, really small sections and baby lights so that we can lift them up as clean as possible. So now that I have completed both sides of the face frame, I'm now going to be moving on to sort of the mohawk T section, where I'm going to be doing a chunkier weave. I want to be creating dimension so that we've got some of the dark coming through, but obviously some of the lightness as well. I have increased the developer to 20 vol, which is 6%, and I'm now applying that on to the dark areas and foiling completely up the parting. I am using wraps here as we ran out of rammer foils, so the wraps are a little bit smaller, so the section is a little bit narrower. They are pretty good to use, but we do prefer using the frammer foils, so I am using these for the meantime. I'm making sure that I'm getting a generous saturation of the section so that I can make sure that it lifts up as best as possible. And yeah, that we'll get a really nice blonde look. So this is all the foils in, so I'm just going to be waiting for them to develop and keeping on checking them to make sure that they're lifted up how I want them to. So now I'm just going to be taking the foils out, which have lifted up to a really nice shade 910, which is exactly what we wanted, as Lauren's hair wasn't too dark on the regrowth area. Look how satisfying this looks at the backwash before we tone. I just love the rooted area. So I am just going to brush her hair out. I am going to be applying a bit of a bleach rinse to her ends just so that we can lift up some of the brassiness out of her hair. I didn't want to take it through in the packets, but I am just doing a bit of a bleach cleanse to lift up the ends just to brighten them ever so slightly. This is always a really good technique to use without having to take your bleach through the ends and foils, which can be so much more damaging to the hair. So it is always better to use a low developer when you are doing that, but here I am just doing it in the backwash. I'm now just going to be applying Shade ZQ, Redken Shade ZQ to the rooted area, which is 7P and 7T. We're going for a really ashy root so that we can try to match her natural shade. I'm taking this root down about an inch so that it will blend fully in with her natural hair and in with the blonde, and it will give her a few extra weeks in between hair appointments and will allow her not to have a harsh root as it regrows in. I am colouring this at the backwash here, but sometimes it is easier to take them back to the position to fully do the root at the position and then rinse and then apply the toner. But today I'm going to be applying both at the same time. So now that I have fully applied the toner, I always like to brush it all the way through to just make sure that it seamlessly blends and looks perfectly blended within the hair. And I have toned using 10p and clear, and look how fabulous this colour looks. I'm so happy with the outcome, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe for more hair videos.